Welcome, welcome, welcome to Chats with Nick podcast, and I am your host, Nick. Today we have a special guest, and her name is Mac. Today, Mac and I will be discussing the topic of being a lesbian. So, without further ado, let's welcome Mac. Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you because I just feel like I don't know how many people are open to talk about their sexuality.
Right.
So I think it's probably very difficult. I've been looking for a transgender person. I swear to God, I can't find one. I don't even know if they exist in this world because I can't find one. Like it's like, come on, where are you at? Where are you at, transgender? Where are you at? I'm serious. I need them to show up and show out.
Got it.
On Chats with Nick podcast. I just gotta say it now. But I'm gonna get you soon. I'm looking for you. But what is it to be a lesbian? Like in your own words, what does that mean?
I mean, to me, I feel like it just means being myself. I get to kind of interact with more people now. Now that I'm out and open.
So when did you discover that you like girls?
I discovered that when I became maybe about 14, 15, when I was in high school. I used to have this really beautiful bus driver. She used to, I don't know, she used to do something to me. I don't really know what she did to me.
What's up, bus driver? What it do?
Yeah, so I used to always be sitting in like the front of the bus. And I guess that always like kept me out of trouble too, just like interacting with her. But that's exactly when I knew like, yeah, I'm taking a different lifestyle. Like I'm headed down like this lesbian road basically.
Got you.
Then I had a couple of like cute teachers too. So yeah, it definitely told me what was about to happen.
Got you.
Yes.
It's about to go down the
Yes.
L way. That
Yes.
part, that way. So I'm certain that you had to talk to your family about this at some point, right?
Yes.
How did that go?
So my dad had just got married, and I was telling different people. I told my stepmom first, and my stepmom took it upon herself to go tell my dad, like, hey, I think your daughter has something to tell you. I really wasn't ready to tell him at the time. I wanted to tell some other people first, and then tell my dad last, because he's more of the stern type of father. But I had a conversation with him. He kind of broke down a little bit, more to say like he couldn't basically do like what your typical woman would do in a marriage. Like he couldn't like give me away like in his way of thinking. And so he actually broke down in tears. But I think he's learning to kind of accept it and know how to treat it, basically. As far as my other family, coming out to them, they kind of was just like, well, we already knew that. Like, we was just waiting for you to say something. And that's basically what I did. I said something, and they've been open to it ever since. So that's basically how I came out.
All right. Well, you know what? I feel like just because I'm a lesbian too, I do have a little experience with the parenting side.
Right.
And I think for parents, their thought is, I had a baby and I have all these dreams of how your life should be.
Right.
And so, unfortunately, when we tell them that their ideas are not going to happen, they feel like, oh my God. And I think it's the same even if you wanted to, like, in their mind, like, I wanted you to go to college, I wanted you to have a baby, I wanted you to do this, and even if you're like, but I don't want to go to college, but I don't want to have a baby, I don't want kids.
Right. It kind of breaks them down.
Yeah, they're like, what?
Yeah.
Because actually Trey Songz talked about, for the longest, how his family pressured him to have a baby. And he has nothing to do with lesbians, but the fact of the matter is that when it comes to parents, they have their own ideas about how they want your life to go. And anytime, I feel like this is very big in the LGBT community, that anytime you kind of tell your parents like, hey, I'm gay, hey, I'm lesbian, hey, I'm trans, hey, I'm bi, it's one of those things where like, oh, I didn't have that. You know what I mean? And it takes them time to process that.
Okay.
God knows how long that process takes, you know? But it does take them a process. And I think it's a beautiful thing that no matter what, that your family was still able to love you and to be there for you despite what you said, because, or not what you said, but who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's unconditional love.
Yes.
Loving you regardless of your sexuality, regardless of your skin color, regardless of whatever.
Yes.
And that's beautiful.
Yes.
So I'm so glad that you had a family that loves you unconditionally, and you've had that experience.
Yes, me too.
All right. So outside of family, have you kind of faced any adversity just by being lesbian?
It's a change, basically. Me going into different type of environments, like if I go to a restaurant or I'm out and about, I think the hardest part for me is kind of what people see. Like, I can't get mad that I get called a sir or I get called a male, or because that's kind of just what they see. I can't beat them up. The only thing that I can really do at the time is either correct it, or some people don't like to say anything at all. Sometimes I do that. I don't say anything at all. Sometimes I kind of just roll with it. There's been plenty of times where I'm walking around and I'm in the store with some other guys, and they be like, hey, what's up, fellas? Sometimes I roll with it. I be like, hey, dog, what's going on? But sometimes I correct it and sometimes I don't. And that's the sole reason, because I can't be mad at what people see. I think maybe the hardest part for me is going to a public event or something, or a public area, and I go to use the restroom, and I walk into a women's restroom, and people tell me that I'm in the wrong restroom, only because that's what they see. And I just kind of embrace it, and I move about how I need to. I'm still going to use that restroom at the end of the day, because I don't consider myself a male. But it's kind of like the hard part. Other than that, there's not too many different like adversities that I go to. The rest of it's pretty easy. I dress the way I dress. I look the way I look. And I kind of just accept me for being me.
I love that.
Yes.
So I want to talk about this bathroom idea, because I too appear to be a man, and I think it's because of two things: short hair, and then male clothing.
Correct.
So a lot of people, I'm almost certain, if they just looked for a second at my breast area, that they would know, oh, that's a girl.
Yes.
But they don't. They just see, and it'd be, because I swear to God, it'd be people looking at me face to face and be like, sir, and I'm like, I need you to look down at my breast for a second. I'm serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying sexually harass me, but I'm saying, like, can you evaluate the situation before you open your mouth?
Right.
And I think that's what, kids, that's a whole different topic. But like adults, like I was in Chicago, and I had a lady that was like, excuse me, sir.
Oh, yes.
Are you in the right, like, this is a woman's bathroom.
Yes.
And I looked at her, I said, I am a woman. And she was like, oh, I'm really so sorry. If you're going to feel so sorry, then perhaps you should think before you speak.
Right.
Or efficiently evaluate the situation before you just count somebody out like that. Like, I'm mad about this, to be honest. Like, this is a woman's restroom. I've never, honestly, I'll take it back. I don't say never. But men don't typically walk into women's restrooms. Right. They don't feel comfortable doing that.
Right.
So it's like, if you see somebody who appears to be a man, check it out first.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Before you offend somebody, because I get offended by that. I'm like, first of all, I'm not a dude.
Right.
And first of all, like, I'm here to pee, and now I have anxiety because I don't know if I should pee in the girls' bathroom or the boys' bathroom. I don't feel comfortable because what I have downstairs, what God blessed me with, I don't have the ability to, like, position my genital area
Correct.
over what is the male thing called? I don't know. Come on. That's what my grandma calls it. I can't put my thing in the commode. It doesn't fit. So it's like, if my stuff don't fit in the men's bathroom, I shouldn't have to be forced to go into the men's bathroom. I don't identify as a man. I don't feel like I'm a man. But I'm kicked out of the women's restroom.
Deep.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I feel like as women, we shouldn't be even having to have this experience.
Right.
Because it's like, now when I didn't even know it was wrong for me to go into a woman's restroom.
Shouldn't be.
Thank God for the all gender restrooms, for real. Because I feel so comfortable. I'm like, yes, there's a gender restroom for me. Like, I'm a woman 100%, but I feel like I have to go into the all gender restroom. Now in California, there's all gender restrooms everywhere.
Yes.
But not in Virginia.
No.
I haven't even seen an all gender restroom. So Virginia, get your life in order today. We need all gender restrooms so that females can go comfortably in the restroom that God designed, or the toilet people manufacturers, they designed for us to go, because clearly we're not allowed to go into the female restrooms and use the restroom like normal females.
Right.
That's something. All right. So I want to talk about some like relationships.
Okay.
And I want to talk about, like, when you're in a relationship, as what do you, I know you're a lesbian, but what do you identify as?
I'm more of the stud type.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole STEM, femme. Yeah, no, that's not for me.
Okay.
So yeah, I consider myself to be a stud because I wear the more masculine clothing.
Okay.
I kind of carry myself a little bit more masculine. My voice is just a little tad deep, but that's just how it was. It's how the cookie crumbles, kind of.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now, are you familiar with Touch Me Not?
I am.
Okay. Are you a Touch Me Not?
I am not.
Okay. So, do you know what a Touch Me Not is?
Yes, I have a broad idea of what it is. There's a lot of in-depth information that I'm missing, but
Okay.
yes, for the most part, I know what it is.
Okay. So, can you share with us what is a Touch Me Not?
I feel like a touch me not is, I honestly feel like in my perspective, I feel like it's something or someone who just doesn't like to be touched. Like, they rather give the pleasure to somebody else and rather not receive it, more or less. It's kind of what I get from it. That's how it's portrayed to me. I don't really know how everybody else thinks about it, but from how I look at it, how I've read about it, how it's been seen, that's my definition basically of what a touch me not is.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing, because one thing I realized, there's different types of lesbians.
Okay.
So there is femmes, there are stems, and there
Yes.
are studs.
Yes.
Just to kind of like group them. So a femme is more of like a feminine woman, and then a stem is kind of a mix. They have a mix, like feminine, masculine type of look, and then a stud has a more masculine type of look. With that being said, I just want to thank you so much for like really providing us with some lesbian information, and
Yes.
I think that it's a great opportunity for us to kind of like have these conversations so that we can know, like, you know, there's a lot of miscommunication. Like,
Correct.
a lot of people feel like studs think that they're men, and we just discovered that is false. We don't think that we're men.
Right.
We're lesbian, and that just simply means a woman who likes a woman.
Correct.
So I want to leave it at that. Lesbian is a woman who likes a woman, And I thank you so much for being able to kind of give us your version and your take on being a lesbian. So thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Y'all better tune in every Friday. Because you know we goes to church on a Friday. You know the Lord, he's going to bless me today. Yes, Jesus loves me. I know he does. Yes, Lord. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. For the Bible. Jesus. Hallelujah. Oh, Jesus. Hallelujah. Can I get a amen? Can I get a amen? Can I get a ooh, amen? Can I get a amen? I said, can I get a ooh, amen?